The rain hammered the windshield like fists of judgment as Jerry gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white against the worn leather of his old Ford pickup. He'd driven this stretch of Nebraska backroad 1,000 times, but tonight, the cornfields blurring past felt like accusations from ghosts he couldn't outrun. And then his phone buzzed, Tyler's name flashing like a flare in the dark, and Jerry's heart slammed against his ribs, because he knew, deep in that twin gut they shared, that this call was the one that would shatter everything. This is bad. Real bad. Tyler's voice cracked over the line, ragged and wet with tears that Jerry could almost taste, the kind of sob that stripped a man bare. The doctor's here, they say. It's time to say goodbye. Jerry slammed on the brakes, the truck fishtailing on the slick asphalt as thunder cracked overhead, mirroring the fracture ripping through his chest. He was still 3 hours from Omaha's Mercy Hospital, but the distance felt like a chasm he'd dug himself over years of sharp words and sharper silences. Tyler, his identical twin, the other half of the coin they'd been flipped from at birth. Gone? No, not yet, but the word terminal had been a specter in their lives for months. Ever since the lymphoma diagnosis turned their world from faded denim to ash. He floored the accelerator, the engine roaring like a beast unchained, and memories flooded in unbidden, cruel as the storm. Growing up in Elmwood, that speck of a town where the Platte River whispered secrets to the windmills, Jerry and Tyler had been inseparable until puberty hit like a freight train. Jerry, the golden boy varsity quarterback, prom king, the one who married his high school sweetheart and popped out 2 kids before 30. Tyler, the outlier, the one who came out at 16 with a quiet defiance that Jerry met with laughter at first, then mockery, then a wall of disdain built brick by homophobic brick. Fairy tales don't fly in farm country, Ty, he'd sneered once, after catching Tyler with a boy from Lincoln at a county fair. The words landing like haymakers in the barn loft where they'd once dreamed of escaping together. But escape Tyler did, first to college in Chicago, then a life in the city's pulsing heart. Graphic designer by day, activist by night, falling in love with a man named Alex who had eyes like smoked whiskey and a laugh that could thaw Nebraska winters. Jerry stayed put, roots sinking deeper into the soil of resentment and routine, his marriage to Sarah fraying at the edges like old barbed wire. He'd visit Tyler sporadically, always with a jab. Still playing house with that city slicker? When you gonna wise up and come home? Tyler would smile that lopsided grin, the one that mirrored Jerry's own but softened by kindness, and say, "Home's where the heart is, bro, mine's here." Now, as the wipers slapped rhythmically against the rain, Jerry's mind snagged on the last time he'd seen Tyler, Thanksgiving, just 4 months back, when the chemo had already hollowed his cheeks but not his fire. Tyler had announced it then, casual as passing the mashed potatoes. "Alex and I, we're having a kid, surrogacy, due in spring." Jerry had choked on his turkey, sputtering, "A kid? You? With him? What the hell kind of fairy tale ending is that?" The table had gone silent, Sarah's fork clinking awkwardly, Tyler's eyes flashing hurt before he masked it with a shrug. "The best kind, the kind where love wins." Love. Jerry had always rolled his eyes at the word when Tyler wielded it like a shield. Love had been Sarah's warm hand in his at the altar, the squeal of his daughter Lila's first steps, the solid weight of his son Max on his shoulders during harvest festivals. But Tyler's love? It was parades and pride flags, stolen kisses and dive bars, a world Jerry dismissed as that lifestyle from the safety of his straight-laced pulpit. Church on Sundays, where Pastor Hale preached fire and brimstone about abominations, and Jerry nodded along, because fitting in was survival in a town where whispers could wither a man faster than drought. The hospital loomed as he crested the hill into Omaha, its lights a sterile beacon cutting through the downpour. Jerry parked crookedly, dashing through the ER doors, his boots leaving muddy prints on the linoleum. "Tyler Hayes," he gasped to the nurse, who eyed his drenched flannel with pity. "Room 412. Family? Twin," Jerry muttered, the word tasting like confession. The elevator ride was agony, each ding a countdown. When he burst into the room, the air was thick with antiseptic and the faint, coppery tang of finality. Tyler lay propped against pillows, skin pale as milkweed silk, for lines snaking like veins of regret. Alex sat beside him, holding his hand, his broad shoulders hunched in quiet devastation. Their eyes met Jerry's. Tyler's dim but defiant, Alex's raw with accusation. "Ja?" Tyler whispered, managing a weak smile. "Took you long enough. Traffic bad." Jerry crossed the room in 2 strides, dropping to his knees beside the bed, grasping his brother's free hand. It was cool, fragile, nothing like the callous grip that had pulled him from the creek at 10, or steadied him after Dad's heart attack at 18. "Shut up, idiot," he choked, tears hot on his cheeks. "I'm here." Tyler squeezed back, faint but fierce. "Good, 'cause I need you to promise me something. For Eli." Eli, the name they'd chosen for the baby, short for Elijah, after their grandfather who farmed the same land through dust bowls and depressions. The surrogate was weeks from delivery, a quiet woman from Iowa who'd seen Tyler's online plea and felt the pull of their story. "What?" Jerry asked, dread coiling in his gut. "Raise him," Tyler said, voice steadying like he was dictating a will. When I'm gone. Alex, he's not ready. Not alone. But you. Your family. Blood." Alex stiffened, but said nothing, his thumb tracing circles on Tyler's knuckles. Jerry's mind reeled. Raise a child? Tyler's child? Born of a love he'd ridiculed? The room spun, rain lashing the window like applause for his hypocrisy. Sarah, the kids were barely scraping by. And Eli. He'd be gay, loved, different. Tyler's eyes bored into him, twin to twin, stripping away the bullshit. "Yeah, he will be. And you'll love him anyway, because deep down you always loved me. Even when you pretended not to." The monitors beeped a dirge, and Jerry nodded, the lie tasting like salvation. "I promise." But promises, like rain-slick roads, were made to be broken or tested beyond breaking. The next weeks blurred into a vigil of beeps and whispers, Jerry shuttling between Omaha and Elmwood, his absences carving deeper rifts with Sarah. "You're choosing him over us?" she'd accuse, arms crossed in their cramped kitchen, the scent of pot roast cooling untouched. Lila and Max would peek from the hallway, wide-eyed, sensing the storm. "It's not choosing," Jerry would snap, guilt sharpening his words. "It's family." Yet every night in that hospital room, as Tyler drifted in morphine haze, Jerry confronted the ghosts of his cruelty. Flashbacks to high school lockers, where he'd laughed off the jocks' taunts at Tyler's expense. "Hey, Hayes, your brother's got more glitter than a Christmas tree," instead of standing up. To college breaks, when Tyler called collect from Chicago, voice bubbling with excitement about his first boyfriend, and Jerry had cut him off. Save the rainbow stories for someone who cares. To Dad's funeral, where Tyler showed up with Alex's hand in his, and Jerry had hissed, "Not here, not now," shoving him toward the shadows. Tyler forgave it all, or seemed to, his humor a bomb. "Remember when we switched places for that double date?" He'd rasp one night, Alex dozing in the chair. "You in my poetry class, me charming your cheerleader? We almost pulled it off." Jerry laughed through tears, the memory a rare bright spot. Their twin telepathy, that electric hum of sameness that let them swap lives for a day, hearts sinking like old radio waves. But the betrayal brewed quieter, insidious. Alex, ever the protector, pulled Jerry aside one gray afternoon. "He's asking for you more than me lately," he said, voice low, eyes red-rimmed. "Why? After everything you've said." Jerry shifted, boots scuffing the floor. "Blood's thicker, I guess." Alex's laugh was bitter. "Blood? You mean the same blood that let him face this alone for years? Tyler built this life without you, Jerry. Our home, our family. Eli's ours. If you think you can waltz in now." "I promised him." Jerry cut in, heat rising. "You gonna stop me?" Alex's jaw tightened, the air crackling. "I love him enough to let him dream. But you? Prove you're more than words." The challenge hung, and Jerry returned to Elmwood that night with it burning. Sarah waited on the porch, a letter in hand. Pink slip from the co-op, layoffs hitting the farm like blight. "We can't afford this, she said, voice breaking. "The mortgage, the kids' braces. And now a baby? Tyler's baby." "It's what he wants," Jerry pleaded, but doubt wormed in. Was it? Or was it Tyler's last grasp at redemption, forcing Jerry to confront the man he'd buried under macho bluster? Spring arrived tentative, crocuses pushing through frost, and with it Eli. Jerry was there for the birth, induced early, the doctors hedging bets against Tyler's fading pulse. He held Tyler's hand in the delivery room while Alex coached the surrogate, a miracle unfolding in cries and slick warmth. Eli emerged red-faced, fists flailing, dark hair matted, eyes blinking at the world like he already knew its cruelties. Tyler held him first, tears carving paths down his gaunt face. "Hey, little man, I'm your dad, the one with all the stories." Alex snapped photos, his own sobs muffled, and Jerry stood frozen, the weight of the promise crushing. But Tyler slipped away that night, monitors flatlining in the witching hour. Jerry heard the code blue over the intercom, bolted from his cot, but it was too late. Alex rocked Eli in the nursery, whispering, "Your daddy's flying now, kiddo, with the stars." Funeral was a week later, Elmwood First Methodist packed with Tyler's disparate worlds colliding. Chicago friends in sharp suits mingling with flannel-clad locals, pride pins glinting beside John Deere caps. Pastor Hale droned about heaven's gates, conveniently glossing Tyler's choices, and Jerry seethed in the front pew, arm around Sarah, who clutched his hand like an anchor. After, at the graveside under budding oaks, Alex approached, Eli swaddled against his chest. "The will's clear," he said flatly. "Tyler's wishes, but I'm his next of kin. Eli stays with me." Jerry's blood roared. "He made me promise, in front of God and you." Alex's eyes hardened, grief sharpening to steel. "Promises from a man who broke his brother's heart? No, Eli's my son too. We're going home, to Chicago." The betrayal landed like a gut punch. Not Tyler's, but Alex's, or maybe his own reflection in the polished stone. Jerry watched them drive away in a rented SUV, taillights fading into the horizon, and felt the chasm widen. He'd mocked Tyler for chasing rainbows, but now, in the dust of that Nebraska road, Jerry wondered if his own life was the grayest shade of all. Months clawed by in Elmwood's relentless rhythm. Planting, weeding, harvest's frantic blur. But Jerry's world tilted off axis, Tyler's absence a hollow in his chest that no amount of dawn coffees or Lila's bedtime stories could fill. Sarah noticed, her touches growing tentative, conversations laced with unspoken ultimatums. "You're here, but you're not," she'd say, folding laundry in the dim kitchen light, the hum of the dryer a white noise to his silence. He'd drive to Omaha on weekends, uninvited, knocking on Alex's apartment door in Wicker Park, a converted warehouse loft with exposed brick and Tyler's artwork splashed across walls like defiant murals. "Just checking on Eli," he'd mutter, arms laden with diapers or a stuffed Cornhusker bear. Anything to justify the intrusion. Alex let him in grudgingly, his grief a fortress. But Eli was the breach. 5 months old now, with Tyler's blue eyes and a gummy smile that could disarm a tank. The boy cooed from his playpen, reaching chubby fists toward Jerry like he sensed the blood tie thrumming beneath the awkwardness. "Look at you, mini Ty," Jerry would murmur, scooping him up, inhaling that milky scent that tugged at something primal. Alex watched from the kitchenette, nursing a beer, his broad frame filling the doorway. "He likes you," he'd concede once, voice gruff. "Ty said you were good with kids." Jerry's throat tightened around the ghost of a laugh. "Yeah, well, he always saw the best in people. Even me." The visits stretched, dinners of takeout Ty, Alex sharing stories of Tyler's campaigns, the way he'd sketched protest posters till dawn for marriage equality. His passion a wildfire Jerry had always doused with skepticism. "He changed lives, Alex said one night, Eli dozing on his chest. "Marches in D.C., kids coming out because they saw him unafraid. You ever think what that cost him? Hiding from family like yours." The jab landed, but Jerry swallowed it, focusing on Eli's soft breaths. "I was wrong. About a lot. Alex's gaze softened fractionally, the first crack in the wall. He knew. Forgave you before you asked. But forgiveness wasn't custody, and Jerry's promise festered, a seed of obsession taking root. He pored over Tyler's will at the kitchen table after Sarah and the kids slept, the legal jargon a maze. Tyler as primary guardian to Alex, with provisions for extended family involvement, if Alex deemed it fit. The ambiguity gnawed, and Jerry's resentment toward Alex simmered. Not hatred, but a jealous ache for the life Tyler had built without him. The love he'd mocked now cradling his nephew. Fall brought change, sharp as cider air. Sarah found the custody papers Jerry had drafted in secret, half-filled forms from a Lincoln lawyer specializing in alternative families. "What is this?" she demanded, waving them like a flag of surrender, her voice echoing in their bedroom where posters of Lila's soccer team curled at the edges. "It's for Eli," Jerry said, sitting on the bed's sagging mattress. "Tyler's kid. Our blood. Our—" Sarah's laugh was brittle. "Jerry, we've got mouths to feed. Lila's talking college already. Max needs therapy for that stutter, remember? And you, driving hours for a baby that's not even—" "Not even what?" he snapped, the old defensiveness flaring. "Gay? Mine? Human?" She recoiled, tears welling. "I didn't mean. Godja, I'm scared. This town's already whispering. Hayes boy's raising his brother's bastard now. Pastor Hale cornered me after service. Said it's unnatural. Meddling in God's plan." Jerry's fists clenched, visions of Tyler's hospital bed flashing. Screw Hale. And the town. Eli's family. But Sarah's fear mirrored his own, the fragility of their life, the farm co-op's whispers about that queer brother's influence. Deals slipping away because Jerry's name now carried Tyler's shadow. That night, they lay back to back, the space between them a continent, and Jerry stared at the ceiling, wondering if love demanded sacrifice or just destruction. Chicago called louder as winter loomed, Eli's first Thanksgiving a beacon. Jerry drove up alone, Sarah's no a wall he couldn't scale. Alex opened the door to turkey smells and fairy lights Tyler had strung years ago. Eli in a tiny pilgrim hat, gnawing a teething ring. "Sarah bail?" Alex asked, stepping aside. "Work," Jerry lied, shedding his coat. The meal was quiet at first. Plates of cornbread and cranberry passed in rhythm to Eli's babbles. Then Alex leaned back, wineglass in hand. "Ty wanted this. Us together. For him." Jerry nodded, forking stuffing. "I miss him. Every damn day." Alex's eyes glistened. "Me too. But Eli, he's got Tyler's fire. Already standing, pulling up on everything. Gonna be a handful." They laughed, the sound easing the knot in Jerry's chest. And for a moment, it felt like truce. Two men bound by loss, navigating the wreckage. After dinner, as snow dusted the fire escape, Alex handed Jerry a box from the closet. "Tyler's sketchbook. He left it for you." Inside, pages of charcoal and ink. Their childhood farm rendered in sweeping lines. Jerry as a boy with a slingshot, fierce and free. Tyler himself, younger, holding a sign at a rally, face alight with purpose. And portraits. Alex laughing, Eli imagined in utero, a dream sketched before reality. At the back, a letter, Tyler's looping script. "Jai, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But you're not. Be the brother I know you are. Love big like I did. For Eli. For you. Ty." Tears blurred the words, and Jerry clutched the book, sobs racking him. Alex clapped a hand on his shoulder, steady. "He believed in you." The drive home was a blur of salted roads and salted eyes, the sketchbook a talisman on the passenger seat. Sarah waited up, her anger softened to concern. "Rough." "Yeah." He pulled her close, the first real embrace in months. "But good too, I think. We can do this. All of us." She searched his face, then nodded, tentative. "For Tyler." Christmas came wrapped in tentative hope. Lila and Max thrilled at the idea of a cousin brother, crafting ornaments for Eli's future tree. Jerry filed the custody petition quietly, not for sole rights, but shared weekends, summers, a bridge between worlds. Alex contested it mildly, more formality than fight, and the judge, a silver-haired woman with a rainbow pin on her robe, saw the heart of it. Blood and love, gentlemen. That's what matters here. But betrayal's shadow lingered, not in courtrooms, but closer. New Year's Eve, Jerry got the call. Not from Alex, but Pastor Hale's wife, voice trembling. "It's Alex." Crash. Drunk driver on the Dan Ryan. The world tilted again, sharper this time. Jerry raced to O'Hare, boarding a red-eye, landing in a Chicago morgue where Alex lay sheet-draped. Eli safe with a neighbor but wailing inconsolably. "Both gone," the social worker said gently, handing over Eli's diaper bag. "Temporary custody to you, Mr. Hayes. As per the will's contingency." Contingency. Tyler's foresight. Alex's trust in death's cruel math. Jerry held Eli close, the boy's cries echoing his own silent scream. Back in Elmwood, Sarah opened the door, arms wide. "We've got you," she whispered. And for the first time, Jerry believed it. Spring thawed the ground, but winter's chill clung to Jerry's bones as he navigated fatherhood's raw edges. Bottles at 3 a.m., Eli's first fever spiking like accusation. The town murmured, but Lila's fierce defense. Uncle Tyler was awesome, and Eli's awesome too, silenced most. Yet doubt crept. Was this redemption or just survival? One night, rocking Eli in the nursery Tyler had helped paint blue as boys, Jerry found a hidden sketch in the diaper bag. A final one from Alex, in pencil. Jerry holding Eli, face softened by wonder, captioned family. The betrayal? It was his own, years of mockery stealing time he couldn't reclaim. But in Eli's trusting gaze, Jerry saw grace. A second chance to love without walls. Summer unfurled in Elmwood like a banner of reluctant mercy, fields greening under relentless sun. But Jerry's days were measured in Eli's milestones. First tooth a pearl of triumph, first crawl a frantic dash toward the dog's water bowl. Sarah adapted with quiet grace, turning the guest room into a nursery splashed with Tyler's donated art. Vibrant abstracts of city skylines bleeding into prairie horizons, a testament to the worlds they'd bridged. Work at the co-op steadied, Jerry's reputation salvaged by his tragic family man aura. Though whispers persisted in the grain elevator's shade, Hayes boys gone soft, raising that queer one spawn. He ignored them, channeling energy into Eli. Park picnics where Lila taught the baby to splash in the creek. Max reading board books with exaggerated voices, their laughter a salve on old wounds. Alex's estate settled swiftly, a modest life insurance payout earmarked for Eli's trust, and letters from his Chicago kin, aunts who'd hosted Tyler's vigils, uncles offering visits. One arrived from Marcus, Alex's brother, a burly firefighter with Tyler's easy grin in photos, proposing a weekend in the Windy City. For Eli to know his roots, he wrote. Jerry agreed, nerves jangling like loose change. The train ride north was an adventure. Eli strapped to his chest in a carrier, babbling at passing farms. Chicago swallowed them whole, hustle of Union Station, L trains rumbling overhead, and Marcus met them at Alex's old precinct, badge glinting, eyes wet. "Heard so much about you from Ty," he said, clapping Jerry's back. The twin who came through. Guilt twisted, but Jerry nodded, and the weekend unfolded in layers of loss and light. Barbecues on Alex's fire escape, stories of Tyler's drag queen fundraisers for AIDS research. Eli passed hand to hand like a talisman. Marcus pulled Jerry aside one dusk, beers in hand. Alex didn't trust Easy. After his folks disowned him for being bi, kept that quiet, he built walls. But he saw you at the end. Just said you were Tyler's anchor. Anchor? Jerry scoffed softly, swirling foam. More like dead weight. Nah. Marcus leaned on the railing, city lights winking below. Ty told me once, after a bad scan, Jerry's the straight man in my comedy, but damn if he doesn't make the punchline land. He loved you fierce. That's why the will. Knew you'd step up. The words unlocked something. Tears pricking as Eli gurgled from his playpen. Back on the train, lulled by clickety-clack, Jerry sketched in Tyler's book. A clumsy farm scene with city spires in the distance, Eli at center, bridging. Home brought conflict anew, not from without, but within. Sarah's patience frayed under the load. Nights when Eli's colic echoed her migraines. Mornings when Jerry's phone buzzed with Chicago updates. "We're a team, right?" She confronted one harvest eve, hay dust in her hair from helping bale. "Or is this just Tyler's ghost between us?" "It's us," Jerry insisted, pulling her into the barn's shadow, the scent of earth and sweat mingling. "All of us. I love you, Sarah. This Eli, it's part of that." She searched his eyes, then kissed him, fierce and forgiving. "Prove it. Therapy. For the kids, for us. No more hiding." He agreed. Sessions in a Lincoln Strip Mall office where Dr. Reyes, a no-nonsense Latina with a pride sticker on her mug, unpacked the twins' tangle. "You mocked him to fit in," she said plainly. "But who were you really mocking, Jerry? The parts of yourself that scared you." The question burrowed, unearthed boyhood secrets. The neighbor kid's hand in his at 12, a confusing warmth dismissed as horsing around. College parties where he'd eye the frat's token gay pledge with uneasy curiosity, masking it in bravado. Tyler's gayness wasn't a threat, Dr. Reyes pressed. It was a mirror. Sessions bled into revelations, Jerry journaling in Tyler's sketchbook. Pages of regret, sketches of Eli's dimpled cheeks. Dreams where he and Tyler raced bikes down Elmwood lanes, free of judgment. Lila joined one session doodling rainbows. "Uncle Tyler made me this," she said, showing a faded bracelet. "Said love's a circle, not a line." Fall's crimson blaze brought the first real test. Eli's first birthday, a joint affair in Elmwood with Chicago kin driving down. The backyard swelled, Marcus grilling brats, Sarah's pies cooling on checkered cloths, Max leading a conga line with toddling Eli. But tension simmered when Pastor Hale arrived uninvited, Bible in hand. Sarah's invite a polite olive branch turned Trojan horse. "Beautiful day for blessings," Hale boomed, eyeing Eli. "Though the circumstances, unconventional." Jerry's jaw set, stepping forward. "Tyler's boy, my nephew. Family's family, Pastor." Hale's smile thinned. Scripture says love your neighbor." Alex's sister chimed, arm around Marcus. "Ty fought for that. You do well to remember." The air crackled, guests murmuring, but Eli's smash of cake. Chocolate smeared across his face like war paint, diffused it, laughter rippling. Hale left early, tail tucked, and Jerry exhaled, raising a toast. To Tyler, to Alex, to Circles. But betrayal's blade fell sharper that night, after guests dispersed. Sarah found Jerry in the barn, sketchbook open to a page he'd hidden. A drawing, not his but Tyler's. Two boys entwined in an embrace too tender for brothers, labeled "What If?" in faded ink. "Where'd this come from?" she whispered, hurt etching lines around her mouth. "Ty's book. The experimented, I guess, before Alex. And you? Keeping it?" Jerry's heart hammered. "It's him, Sarah. His truth." She folded it away, voice small. "Is it yours too?" The question hung, a precipice. "No," he said, but the lie echoed hollow. Therapy's mirror cracked wider, and in the days that followed, Jerry drove to Omaha alone, seeking a specialist. Not for Eli, but himself. Questioning. Dr. Reyes had called it gentle. It's okay to explore. Exploration came tentative. Coffee with a divorced dad from AA, whose easy laugh stirred echoes. Online forums where men like him shared stories of late awakenings. No affairs, no drama. Just quiet coffees. Walks where words flowed freer than with Sarah in years. Guilt gnawed. But so did authenticity. Tyler's voice in his head. Love big. Winter's grip tightened. Eli's second Christmas, a flurry of lights and first words. Duh! Directed at Jerry, melting him. But Sarah's distance grew. Her touches perfunctory, eyes shadowed. I see you changing, she said one snow-laced night, tucking kids in. And it scares me. Changing how? Like Tyler. Open. But what if it pulls you away? He held her, promising ground, but the fault lines spread. Marcus visited in January, Eli's godfather now, bearing toys and tales. Over beers in the shed, he confided. Alex had doubts too, near the end. About you. Thought you'd bail like before. Jerry's beer soured. I didn't. But the mocking. It hurt Ty deep. Made him question if blood meant belonging. The words were a scalpel carving fresh. Betrayal reversed. Tyler's silence, his unwavering faith despite the barbs. Jerry vowed anew, but vows are fragile as hoarfrost. Spring equinox brought crisis. Eli spiked a fever, echoes of Tyler's chills, landing in Omaha ER with croup. Jerry paced halls, Sarah at home with the kids, phone silent. Marcus flew in, held Eli through the mist tent. You're doing right by him, he said. Ty'd be proud. Discharge brought clarity or chaos. Driving home, Eli asleep in his seat, Jerry's phone buzzed. Sarah. We need to talk. Now. She waited on the porch, bags packed at her feet. I love you, Ja, but I can't compete with ghosts. Or whatever this is becoming. Don't, he begged, Eli stirring. We're family. You are, she said, tears freezing on cheeks. With him, them. Find your circle. She left for her sisters in Lincoln, divorce papers to follow. The house echoed empty, Eli's cries the only sound. Betrayal's full bloom. His own heart's quiet rebellion, blooming too late, too loud. Dawn broke gray over Elmwood, the Platte murmuring condolences as Jerry brewed coffee one-handed. Eli balanced on his hip, the boy's warmth the sole anchor in the storm Sarah's departure unleashed. Divorce loomed like thunderheads. Joint custody for Lila and Max. Assets split fair but feelings in shards. Daddy's finding himself, Sarah explained to the kids over supervised weekends. Her voice steady, eyes averted. Jerry nodded through it. Therapy a lifeline where Dr. Reyes unpacked the wreckage. Grief for Tyler. Yes. But this? It's awakening. Own it. Don't weaponize it. Awakening. The word fit uneasily, like boots too new. Jerry's explorations deepened, not reckless, but real. A support group in Omaha, coming out later in life, where graying men shared beers and burdens. The engineer who left his wife for a quiet life with his high school crush. The teacher embracing solitude after decades in closet's cage. Jerry listened, spoke haltingly of Tyler's mirror, Eli's gift. He made me see. Maybe I wasn't as straight as the furrow I plowed. Applause, gentle, and after coffee with Ben. A soft-spoken librarian from Kearney, late 40s, with laugh lines and a penchant for folk tunes. Their talks stretched evenings. Dylan lyrics over diner pie, walks along the Republican River where Ben's hand brushed his, electric but unhurried. No labels, no rush, just connection, the kind Tyler had chased and Jerry had scorned. Eli thrived amid the flux, his toddler energy a whirlwind. First steps wobbling toward Jerry's outstretched arms. First, I love you, mumbled sticky-fingered after pancakes. Lila and Max visited, bridging worlds. Lila braiding Eli's curls. Max building block towers of Uncle Tyler's city. But the town's tide turned hostile. Co-op meetings where whispers became barbs. Hayes is one of them now. Deals drying up like creek beds in July. Pastor Hale seized the pulpit. Sermon on Sodom's fall. Eyes on Jerry's empty pew. Stray lambs we welcome back, he intoned. But the call was clear. Repent or rot. Jerry quit the church not with fury but finality. A letter to the congregation. Tyler's love taught me grace. Find yours. Isolation bit, but Ben's steadiness soothed. Their first kiss came tentative under harvest moon at the county fair. Cotton candy air. Ferris wheel light spinning. Ben's lips soft, tasting of cider, and Jerry pulled back, breathless. It's real. As real as you let it be, Ben murmured, thumb tracing Jerry's jaw. Fall's Gold's deepened resolve. Jerry sold the old Ford, bought a hybrid practical forward. Therapy evolved to couples counseling with Sarah, not for reunion, but co-parenting. We're uncoupling with kindness, she said, signing papers. Lila's tears at the ink's dry haunted, but Max's hug. Love you both, Dad, healed. Eli's second birthday dawned crisp, a party scaled small. Marcus and Kin via Zoom, Lila's cake artistry, Ben flipping burgers with quiet charm. As Eli blew candles, giggling at the flame, Jerry felt Tyler's presence. Wind in the oaks, a sketchbook page fluttering open to a family portrait, imagined whole. But climax brewed in shadows. November elections stirred national bile. Anti-LGBT bills snaking through Lincoln, headlines screaming, "Protect traditional families." Elmwood echoed. Vandalism at the library's pride display, Ben's car keyed with slurs. "It's Hale's flock." Ben sighed over phone, voice weary. "Stay safe." Jerry didn't. He rallied, first to town hall, voice shaking but steady. "Tyler's story isn't shame. It's ours. Love's not a vote." Crowd mixed. Nods from young farmers, jeers from old guard. Hale countered with flyers. Hayes betrays blood for sin. Betrayal's echo. Jerry's own past, weaponized. Anonymous letters arrived. Photos of Tyler and Alex kissing. Scrawled "pervert spawn" over Eli's face. Panic surged. Jerry installed cameras. Slept with a bat by the bed. Ben urged caution. Fight smart, not solo. Winter solstice brought the storm. Snow blanketed Elmwood. Eli's flu keeping them in. When knuckles rapped. Pastor Hale, Bible clutched, face florid. "End this folly, son. For your boy's sake." "My boy." Jerry blocked the door. Eli peeking from stairs. "You mean the one you call tainted?" Hale thrust papers. A petition, 50 signatures, demanding Eli's removal to fit guardians. Community welfare. Your indiscretions endanger him. Rage boiled, twin to Tyler's fire. "Get off my land, or I'll call the sheriff." Hale sneered. "Blood cries out, Jeremiah. Your brother's sins. My brother's love." Jerry roared, slamming the door, heart pounding. Inside, Eli whimpered, and Jerry scooped him, rocking till sobs stilled. Ben arrived at midnight, snow-dusted, arms enveloping. "We'll fight. Together." The petition escalated, court date in Lincoln, social services probing. Jerry's lawyer, a fierce Lincoln advocate who'd known Tyler from Pride marches, prepped, "They want spectacle. Give them truth." Courtroom was a crucible. Hale testifying, voice oily, painting Jerry as morally unfit, citing deviant influences. Sarah spoke for him, voice cracking, "He's the best dad. For all our kids." Lila, 12 now, testified tearless. "Eli's my brother. Anyone who says different is mean." But the blow came from within, Jerry's journal. Accidentally leaked via Hale's ally at the co-op. Pages of doubt and desire splashed in the local rag. Hayes confesses twin taboo. Headlines twisted. Incest whispers. Betrayal amplified. Humiliation burned. Calls from kin distant. Ben's hands steady but eyes shadowed. "Is it true?" One aunt phoned, venomous. "No," Jerry snapped, but the seed of Tyler's "what if?" haunted, had mockery masked envy. A buried twin bond twisted by fear, climax crested in recess. Jerry, alone in hall, Eli napping in daycare, when Hale cornered him. "See? Your choices destroy." "No," Jerry whispered, voice stealing. "They free." Judge ruled swift. Petition dismissed. Jerry's guardianship affirmed. Hale's church fined for harassment. Cheers from allies, but victory tasted bittersweet. Town fractured. Friends lost. Spring's thaw mirrored mending. Ben moved in tentative, his books mingling with Tyler's sketches. Eli's words flowered. "Unca Ben," and Lila's visits warmed. Sarah dated cautiously, their co-parenting a model Dr. Reyes praised. Yet humanistic ache lingered. No tidy bows, just growth's grit. Jerry visited Tyler's grave, Eli toddling grass, placing a daisy. "We did it, Ty. Loving big." Wind whispered back, and in Ben's quiet gaze that eve, Jerry glimpsed forever. Not perfection, but presence. Summer's heat wave baked Elmwood into submission, mirages dancing on blacktop as Jerry navigated new normalcy. Dawn runs with Ben, their strides syncing like unspoken vows. Eli's backpack heavy with sippy cups for preschool co-op. The scandal's embers smoldered. Co-op job gone, but a freelance gig restoring old barns paid bills. Hammer swings a rhythm of reclamation. You're building more than fences. Ben teased over iced tea on the porch, Eli napping inside to cicada lullabies. Ben's presence wove subtle. Folk records spinning on the old turntable, shared glances over Eli's bedtime tales. Tyler's sketchbook now a prop, pages flipped to inspire Eli's crayon scrawls. Intimacy bloomed slow, respectful. No grand gestures, but mornings tangled in sheets. Ben's fingers tracing Jerry's scars from boyhood falls. Whispers of you're safe erasing years of armor. Lila's 13th birthday bridged further. A pool party at Sarah's new place in Lincoln, Max cannonballing, Eli splashing gleeful. Sarah's boyfriend, Tom, a gentle mechanic with a mustache like a 70s cop, grilled veggies, eyeing Jerry neutral. Kids first, Sarah murmured aside, hugging him goodbye. Always. Fall brought harvest's frenzy, Jerry's crew of misfits. Young queers from Lincoln U, straight allies tired of Hale's hate. Reaping fields under harvest moon. Bonfires crackled stories. One kid's coming out brawl, another's quiet flight to the city. Tyler's ghost here, a girl said, toasting marshmallows, pushing us forward. Ghosts gathered at All Souls, Jerry leading a makeshift vigil. No church, just the old oak by Tyler's stone, lanterns flickering. Marcus flew in, Eli lighting a candle. To brothers, he toasted, and Ben's hand found Jerry's warm anchor. But conflict reignited subtle. Eli's questions, toddler sharp. Where Dada Ty? Dada Lex? Over mac and cheese. Jerry faltered. Ben stepping in gentle. They're stars, buddy, watching you shine. Nights after, doubt crept. Had Jerry stolen their light? Therapy unpacked. You're honoring, not replacing, Dr. Reyes affirmed. Yet Ben sensed the shadow. One crisp October eve as leaves skittered. Talk to me, he urged, walking the back 40, Eli in wagon trailing. It's enough, this life, Jerry confessed, kicking clods. Ty and Alex, they burned bright, short. I'm steady. But what if Eli needs more? Ben stopped, turning Jerry face on. Steady's the fire that lasts. Tyler chose you for that. The words kindled, but betrayal's whisper persisted. Not external now, but internal fracture. Thanksgiving loomed, Lila's idea. A twins tribute, Elmwood-Chicago hybrid. Marcus hosted in Alex's old loft. Now his walls echoing laughter. Eli chased cousins, Jerry and Ben in kitchen, chopping onions that stung like memories. There, over pie, Marcus dropped the bomb. A letter from Tyler, unsealed post-loss. Found it in Alex's safe. For you when ready. Script familiar, Tyler's hand. Jay, if you're raising Eli. Know this? I envied your normal once. Wife, kids, roots. But normal's a cage if it's not yours. I loved Alex free, but part of me wondered. Twins, tangled. Not lovers but soulmates denied. Forgive my silence. It was love, not shame. Be free too. For Eli. For me. Ty. The room stilled. Pie forgotten. Ben's hand under table, steady. Marcus's nod solemn. Betrayal unveiled. Not act, but omission. Tyler's buried what if. A twin bond deeper than blood. Platonic but profound. Silenced by Jerry's mockery. Tears fell unchecked. He thought. I knew. He hoped, Marcus said. And now? You do. Winter's hush followed, Jerry retreating to sketch. Raw lines of two boys under stars, hands linked, no labels. Ben read it silent, then kissed his temple. Beautiful. Christmas Eve, snow soft, Eli's eyes wide at lights. Jerry proposed. Not ring, but promise. Build this with me? Long haul. Ben's yes was grin wide, Eli clapping oblivious. Sarah called later, voice warm. Heard. Happy for you. Spring's renewal crested in bloom. Eli's preschool play, a lamb in fleece, Jerry and Ben front row, Lila filming. After park picnic, Marcus joining, tales flowing. But climax shadowed gentle. A letter from Hale, not Venom, but Olive. Retiring. Reflections. Peace. Jerry met him at the diner, neutral ground. Hale aged. Frail. I was wrong. Lost a son to cancer too. Saw your fight. Reminded me. Forgive. Humanity's curve. Jerry extended hand. Water under. Teach love now. Summer solstice party sealed shifts. Townies mingling. Pride flags subtle on porches. Hale toasting awkward at the bonfire. Eli danced barefoot. Ben's arm round Jerry. Stars wheeling. Yet depth demanded price. Ben's ex surfaced. Custody skirmish for their shared teen from prior marriage. Not leaving, Ben vowed, but strain showed. Late calls, weary eyes. Jerry supported, but fear gnawed. Another loss? Resolution came raw. Ben won partial. The boy visiting Summers. Eli gaining a big bro family's mosaic. Ben said, piecing puzzles with Eli. Fall's palette painted peace. Harvest communal now. Allies reaping. Eli's third birthday. A train cake. Ben's folk song serenade. Jerry's journal closed on a sketch. Full circle, all faces woven. Betrayal's scar faded to story. Humanistic heart. No heroes flawless, just humans reaching. Tyler's legacy. Love's quiet revolution, one free heart at a time. Autumn deepened to amber. Elmwood's fairs buzzing with tentative unity. Booths of queer artisans beside tractor pulls. Hale's successor preaching inclusion from the pulpit. Jerry's life steadied into rhythm. Barn restorations funding Eli's college fund. Ben's library shifts meshing with preschool drop-offs. Their home a haven of mismatched mugs and crayon walls. Dates wove ordinary magic. Drive-in movies where Eli dozed to old westerns. Ben's head on Jerry's shoulder. Stargazing in the back field. Tracing constellations Tyler named in childhood tales. Eli's curiosity bloomed unchecked. Why two dadas? He'd ask, stacking blocks. Jerry knelt, honest. Because love's big, kiddo. Fits lots of shapes. Ben added, like Legos. Best builds from all pieces. Winter whispered warnings. A farm accident sidelining Ben's ankle. Jerry's freelance dipping with market dips. Strain tested. Arguments over bills, Eli's tantrums echoing cabin fever. We're fraying, Ben admitted one blizzard night. Fire crackling low. Missed the easy. Jerry pulled him close, Eli asleep upstairs. Easy's myth. We're real. Fix it. Therapy tandem now. Dr. Reyes beaming. Partnerships practice. You're acing. Sessions unearthed Ben's fears. Past divorces ghosts. Queer life's precarity. Tyler's fight. Inspires but scares. What if we lose Eli too? Won't, Jerry vowed, echoing Tyler's will. Spring validated. Court review. Guardianship unchallenged. Eli's world expanding. Lila's sleepovers. Max's fishing trips. Sarah's wedding to Tom a June bloom. Jerry toasted tearful. Summer's heat forged deeper. A road trip to Chicago. Eli's first. Retracing Tyler's steps. Wicker Park pulsed. Alex's old haunt now a cafe, Marcus bartending. Eli rode the L wide-eyed, pointing lakeside. Big water. At Tyler's vigil site, a plaque. Lover, fighter, father. Jerry traced letters, Ben holding Eli. Your legacy, little man. Fall's cusp brought the ark's quiet peak. Eli's preschool, family day. Drawings taped, stick figures. Jerry, Ben, Tyler ghostly, Alex starry. Teacher's note. He's proud. Says his dadas love biggest. Harvest wrapped bountiful. Crews feast under tents. Toasts to resilience. Ben's surprise. A ring, simple band. Popped post-dinner. Marry me? Make it legal forever. Jerry's yes choked. Eli cheering yay. Amid confetti. Wedding plans small, Prairie Chapel, Sarah matron, Marcus best. Vows exchanged under oaks. I promise to love your light, your shadows, like Tyler taught. Honeymoon, cabin in the sandhills, Eli with grandparents, nights of stars and stories. This is it. Ben murmured, tangled. Home. Winter's peace held, but humanism's nuance. No ending sealed, just chapters. Eli's questions evolved. Was Uncle Ty sad? Met with truths tempered. Sometimes, but loved fierce. Like us. Betrayal's final echo. Jerry's manuscript, sketches and words bound. Twin Flames. A Love Unearthed. Self-published. Proceeds to queer youth funds. Readings drew crowds. Hale attending one. Nodding silent. Spring Circle. Eli's 4th birthday. Garden party. Butterfly release for Tyler and Alex. Lila, 14, confided, I'm bi, Dad. Okay? Jerry hugged fierce. Proud. Always. Summer solstice. Full circle. Bonfire with kin. Ben's song lilting. Eli dancing. Stars wheeled. Tyler's whisper in wind. Well done, bro. Life's drama ebbed to romance's hum. Kisses stolen in hayloft. Eli's laughter life score. No tragedy's shroud, but hopeful humanism. Love's not conquest, but communion. In Elmwood's heartland, Jerry, once mocker, now guardian, learned. Redemption's in raising not just a child, but oneself. With Ben's hand in his, Eli's dreams ahead, the promise fulfilled. Not perfect, but profoundly true. Years blurred to legacy. Eli, teen firebrand, marching with Lila for rights. Jerry and Ben, silvered, rocking on porch, sketchbook past. Tyler's light, enduring, a beacon in American vastness. Dramatic falls, emotional rises, romantic depths, humanistic grace. And in quiet nights, Jerry whispers to stars, thanks, Ty, for the push.